It's time now for County-Wide, a presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. You'll hear about the interesting issues and happenings that affect all our lives. Here's today's County-Wide.
Well, good day and welcome to the program. I'm Brad Miller, and we're very happy to welcome a special guest into our studio today. Janet Sandoval is here, and Janet is a local representative of Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. You got to be hiding in a cave to not have heard about that important program. Dolly Parton, one of the things that she has gone after for many, many years, decades now, is childhood illiteracy, but also has known the value of getting books into the hands of kids and their families at a very young age, and that's what the Imagination Library does. I apologize for my scratchy voice today, but let's welcome Janet Sandoval into our studio. Happy to have you here.
Happy to be here, Brad. Thank you for having me.
Did I get it right? Is that what the Imagination Library is?
Absolutely. Yes, and the Verde Valley Imagination Library is a local program partner of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, right. And it's just her passion to inspire a love of reading in babies and children, a love of books. That's what we're all about. Getting
kids reading early. It shows in every educational metric that the kids are going to do better in school, and
it absolutely does. They've done a number of studies, and they have shown that the children who enroll in the program, by the time they're 5 years old, they're going to have 60 books in their library.
Yeah.
And they do fare much better on standardized tests in school.
Yeah.
Than those that haven't been enrolled in the program. It's interesting.
So just that just that makes it worthwhile. But if we start to think just about personal enrichment, if we start to think about just other things to do than watch the TV or the phone or whatever it
Absolutely.
is, it's just such a winning kind of a program, and it has been since, I think, 1995?
Correct. 1995, Dolly Parton started this really just in her hometown, the east part of Tennessee, and her father was functionally illiterate, and so she wanted to do something for those children in her neck of the woods.
Yeah, yeah.
and it spread from there.
Yeah.
She's in all the program is in all English-speaking countries. It's just really a terrific program, and it's always free. So what's not to love about it and Dolly Parton?
It makes it so accessible. Now let's talk about how it kind of works locally and kind of your involvement. Now this Rotary has a hand in this?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, Rotary of Sedona is what brought the program to our area. Back in 2016, it was in Sedona and the village of Oak Creek. Through funding from ACF, we were able to then go into all 10 zip codes here in the Verde Valley and Sedona. We are currently serving 2,300 families over the past year.
Right.
And so it's free. You just go online to vvilbooks.org and enroll your child.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. And then about 8 to 10 weeks later, you're going to start receiving those books, and they're addressed to the child. They're shrink-wrapped. They're high-quality books. They're selected by a panel of educators and physicians. They follow different themes for the different age groups. And
they're new, not used?
They're absolutely new.
Yeah.
They're new.
These are things that they can hold on to for their own kids, perhaps.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's something that will become a really important part, and we've seen kids that jump on board that kind of thing.
It really is. And, I've heard from so many parents after the child has graduated out of the program, those children cherish their books.
Yeah.
Those are their friends. And I have photographs of children with all 60 books, and it's just a part of who they are. Those are their books. And what's interesting is, too, I've spoken with kindergarten teachers who say that the children who have been enrolled in the program recognize the book. When a kindergarten teacher reads a book they may have read, they all say, I know that book. We read that book. Dolly gave me that book. And they think, Dolly's given them that book. And
it's like it's a little bit of Santa Claus every month.
It is.
I mean, it really kind of is.
It is. It's kind of like a little book club in kindergarten, if you can think about it that way. Then they can discuss the book as adults do in their book clubs. And so it's just enriching. It's great for their brain development. 80% of their brain is developed by the time they're 3 and 90% by the time they're 5. So reading is essential. It's just crucial for everything.
And it seems like, and I know this isn't probably the direct intention, but it seems that it would just kind of pop up if the youngster maybe has a learning or a reading disability at a young age. This could help with diagnoses and help with teachers and instruction and how that child is handled once they are school age. So yet another kind of piece of the pie that it really is going to kind of help. How did you personally get involved? I usually find there's a personal story when folks come in with
Yes, there was. I was sitting at a different fundraiser breakfast, and I met a wonderful person. Her name is Jean Barton. She was our former board chair, and she and I started talking, and I talked about my experience as a former homeschool mom, and she is a retired pediatrician, and so she was sitting on the board also of Rotary, and so knowing that Rotary brought the program to the Verde Valley, and she invited me very kindly to one of their board meetings, and I just fell in love with the whole program and the people that run it, and
here you are.
And here I am.
And that was how long ago?
Gosh, that's been, I would say, about 4 years ago.
Okay, so the program's been up and running pretty strongly in the Verde Valley area.
It has.
Okay, and then you were telling me before we opened the mics that this is on the Prescott side now too.
It is. So, in fact, the Imagination Library is available all of Yavapai County. You know, our goal is really to, I would love to see, and many would love to see, the program go statewide, as many states. No, it's not statewide.
Oh.
It's funded in part by Dolly Parton Imagination Library, in part by, just like I had discussed earlier, with the grantors funding and then private donations.
So there needs to be a local touchstone in whatever the community is, county size, city size, rural community, whatever. Oh, okay.
Yes, so it would be nice to have the governor at some point write this into law and say all of Arizona, every child can receive these books.
Oh,
and so
I
that would
just thought it was, and you were kind of working the local piece. They sure talk about that. Here again, I looked at Dolly's website. I scanned it. I didn't get in depth. Their FAQ is terrific. A lot of questions in there.
Yes.
Anything I could think of, they had talked about. I didn't kind of parse into that so much, so I assumed that it was more available. Well, we're lucky to have you, and we're lucky to have the folks, Rotary, and everybody involved. You mentioned that even at the hospital, the nurses and the pediatric, when the new babies come, they help with this.
We have wonderful community partners, one of which is Verde Valley Medical Center, and the nurses are terrific. So they will give our registration forms to the new mothers who fill them out, and then once a month I'll go and collect those, and then go on and register all those babies, and then within 8 to 10 weeks, the baby is receiving their first book.
At age 3 months or so.
About 2 months.
It comes. It comes to the home.
Correct. Yeah. And it's addressed to the child. It's shrink wrapped. And so cool. It's neat. And then as the child gets older and they go to the mailbox with mom or dad, they see that the book is addressed to them. Yeah. It's a thrill. Yeah. And I hear from so many parents that say that's part of their day. They just go to the mailbox and wait for Dolly to send them their book. Right. And then they open it up and spend time reading. And just reading 15 minutes a day is just crucial.
Yeah. And this is a terrific way to do it.
Yeah, the nurses are very helpful in helping us with this task.
There's going to be a fundraiser coming up if you're listening to the program this morning, or even if you're not. We want you to know about that. It's the way to keep this program going, the way to make it strong, the local end of this. I mean, yes, thank you, Dolly Parton, but without the local end and volunteers like our guest, Janet Sandoval, this doesn't happen in our community. So we'll talk more about that when we come back to Countywide right after this.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley. And your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Hi, this is Louis Rice with Rice Accounting, Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, with a very sincere thank you for your continued business over the last 20 years. All of us at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service are very honored for the many community awards we've been given over the years. As always, we are open year-round, providing services for taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping. Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, located throughout northern Arizona, can help you with all your tax and accounting needs. For our nearest location, call 800-234-1040.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau property and casualty insurance company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
We welcome you back to the program. I'm Brad Miller. It's Countywide. Janet Sandoval is our guest today, and we're talking about the Imagination Library, Dolly Parton's umbrella organization, which really is international, and Janet and some folks in our community helping to make us part of it here in eastern Yavapai County. I called you a volunteer a moment ago, and I didn't get that right. Help me understand how it works locally.
Absolutely. Yes, so I am a program director, and my role is to promote our program, to support our community partners, to enroll the children, to be the face of the organization out in the community.
You're running the show. You're the feet on the ground. You can say it. I'll say it. You're too humble to say it, but kind of running. But then there's a board.
We have a wonderful board.
Okay.
That we all work together, and so my position as program director is a little bit different than the others on the board.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you need volunteers?
We're always looking for volunteers. I have a wonderful group of ladies right now who help us to redeliver books that are undeliverable. So one of my roles is I pick up the books from the post office. I try to find where the family is, and often I do. And then when I do find, they've moved, my volunteers drive those books out. It's actually less expensive to do that than to remail the book. It costs more to remail the book than it does. And we don't have it where you can forward the books. Yeah. So that's terrific. But we're always looking for new ideas, ways we can improve our presence in the Verde Valley. And so, yes, if someone is interested in what we're all about, I would welcome them to join a board meeting.
Yeah, simple as that.
Simple as that. And
you mentioned a website at the top of the show. Mm-hmm. Maybe you'll repeat that for people. What's a good place to start?
Sure. So it's vvilbooks.org.
Okay.
VVIL standing for Verde Valley Imagination Library, of course.
Gotcha.
And then my email address would be a way for them to reach out to me if they're interested in volunteering or want to sit and come to a board meeting. Reach out to me at jsandoval@vvilbooks.org.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
You never know. There's always people in the community who bring interesting and worthwhile experience or enthusiasm to different kinds of programs. So you never know who's going to come on board and kind of help with this. In recent times, certainly nationally and even to a smaller extent locally, there's been a lot of concern about the types of books in libraries and schools especially. That's for a different show. But let's address it in terms of how the Imagination Library works. Certainly parents are going to want to be assured the books they get for their kids are age appropriate, thematically appropriate. How does all that work?
Okay. Yes. So there is a board, a selection board that meets. It's comprised of educators, physicians, and other professionals in that area, and they hand select the books, and it's in partnership with Penguin Random House Books.
Okay. Big.
And I guess I just want to say that the books are thematically chosen for the age of the child, and everyone's welcome to look at the book list. It's right there. You just look at the book list right on the website, imaginationlibrary.com, and for your own sense of.
You don't get to order from the list.
Correct.
The list
but
is
you
going
can
to
read the books that your child would be receiving.
Just to assure yourself that it's going to be something that's going to be appropriate for you and your family.
Yes, and I also want to point out that more and more of the books are in both languages, Spanish as well as English. So, and they come with a flyleaf on the inside. Many of them do, with ideas on how to engage the child in the book and things that you can do as the parent to engage the child in reading.
Okay.
So the books are hand selected by this group of doctors And I have never seen any book that's controversial or.
Yeah.
I feel
it's
they
just
should be safe.
There's so much out there. I mean, you hear about celebrities writing kids' books and all of these kinds of things. Then there's the more traditional Dr. Seuss and different kinds of stuff. But I know that the the kids' books industry is enormous. I think way different than it was like when I was a kid. Holy cow!
Yes.
So there's a lot of different kind of avenues to explore and a lot of different styles and a lot of different kinds of things. Does the selections reflect that? Do you try to kind of bounce around, to bring different kinds of perspectives to the kids over the course of the 5 years or so that they might receive these?
Yes, yes, I would say that the books start out simple. Many of them for the babies are black and white board books.
Age appropriate. Sure.
And then they gradually move into themes such as weather,
right,
like snow, and being outside in nature,
right,
to spending time with family and all ethnicities.
Right.
And so it touches upon the importance of grandparents in a child's life, talks about spending a day with dad, day with mom. So there's all these different themes throughout the book, and they even one on how to spend money as they get a little older.
I should read that one.
Called Spend It.
That.
It's a darling little book about how to spend money.
So in a broad sense, it does kind of get into some social issues in a way, just like the news of the day is going to do. So it's not much different than that. And then is it determined some kids are going to start to read at age 3? I mean, it happens. Other kids are not going to kind of be able to read to themselves or for themselves.
Correct.
Until a little bit different age. Is there a way to slide on that scale? Or there's got to be some point where it becomes the kids' parents and family. Dolly can't do everything. You can't do everything. You can get the books into the hands of the youngsters, but that educational element's going to have to come from within.
Correct. It has to be a family's desire to spend time reading to the child.
Simple as that.
And our focus isn't so much on teaching a child to read. That's not what this is all about. This is spending time with the child on your lap, snuggled up.
Right.
And so the child just automatically associates that feeling of being loved and snuggled with reading. And they have a positive impression of what reading and books are all about.
Yeah.
So the reading part comes later, and that's not so much the focus of the Imagination Library, but just falling in love with the reading itself and books and what they have to offer and exploring different worlds through literature.
The smell, the tactile feel for a little one of opening that book, the sound it makes when that binding cracks open for the very first time, what the book smells like, what it's like to turn pages with your fingers and those kinds of things. I mean, you're going to never have known a time where you didn't have that understanding when you become part of the Imagination Library.
Yes.
This is great stuff. All right, let's take a short break. And now we are going to, I promise, I keep saying we'll talk about the fundraiser. When we come back, that's exactly what we'll talk about. Our guest is Janet Sandoval, the Imagination Library, big fundraiser coming up. And if you need some more information about how you can become a part of this, how to get your child registered, grandchild perhaps, we'll get into that as well as we wrap up countywide. We'll be back right after this.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley, and your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology, factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Hi, this is Louis Rice with Rice Accounting, Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, with a very sincere thank you for your continued business over the last 20 years. All of us at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service are very honored for the many community awards we've been given over the years. As always, we are open year-round providing services for taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping. Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, located throughout northern Arizona, can help you with all your tax and accounting needs. For our nearest location, call 800-234-1040.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
We welcome you back to the program. It is countywide, kind of wrapping it up with Janet Sandoval talking about the Imagination Library, and that is the organization founded and still run by Dolly Parton. Dolly's 78th birthday last week.
That's right.
How about
Happy
that?
birthday.
I know. We celebrated right here on the station. Anyway, just love Dolly and love her work and what she is doing here. And more importantly, we love the work that is being done on the local level, because it doesn't happen without dedicated folks like our guest today, the board, and anybody else who becomes involved, and especially you, Mom and Dad, Grandma and Grandpa, who get these books into the hands of the little ones. The library, or the fundraiser rather, coming up on February 4th. What do I need to know? How do I attend and be a part of it?
Thank you. Yes, so 2424, February 4th. It's a Sunday at 4 o'clock at Blazin' M Ranch. And tickets are on sale right now at our website, vvilbooks.org. And I would encourage everyone to come out and support us, get your ticket. It's really a fun event. So we've got some wonderful music by Chip Hanna, who will be playing his guitar and walking around and singing some Dolly songs as well.
You betcha.
And Chuck Wagon style dinner and wonderful auction items. And if you're interested in seeing all the wonderful auction items that we have, you can go right to our website and do a preview of them. So we have some live auction items as well as silent auction items. And our board has done a terrific job of garnering some items here. The restaurants, especially in the area, and the businesses have really come behind us and supported us and donated. And for a small board, I think we've done a terrific job. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it starts at 4. It runs through to 7:30. So music and the meal. I think it's just a great time, and you're supporting a really important program to keep
helping out younger ones, helping out families.
Absolutely,
just
yes.
So important to. They're the next. They're going to be running the world. It seems a long way off, and it is a long way off. I've got a new grandson, and I think, someday they're going to be in charge. Let's get them educated and learning how to read, and that it is such a delight to learn and imagine and to live your life that way. It's wonderful. The Imagination Library, Janet Sandoval, our guest. And again, February 4th, 4 p.m., Blazin' M Ranch, vvil.org.
VVIL Books.
VVIL Books.
Plural, with an S. .org, yes.
Take a look there for tickets for the fundraiser or more information.
Yes, and they're on sale through the end of the month.
Excellent.
Yes.
All right, Janet, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to talk to you.
It was great.
Countywide, and we'll see you next time.
This has been Countywide. Listen in each Tuesday and Thursday at this time. If you have a topic or guest idea that you'd like to suggest, email us, news@myradioplace.com.